Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
The Dodgers fans make their way into Dodger Stadium as we come to you from Los Angeles. It is Game 3 of a 3-game series between the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. Logan Forsythe back in the starting lineup again tonight for the Dodgers. The former Padre hitting at .375 with a home run and 5 RBIs against his old team, the Padres. While on the other side for San Diego, Christian Villanueva had a great start to his major league career in 9 games, hitting at .391 with 4 homers and 7 runs batted in. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Well, tonight the Padres are trying to salvage the last game of the series, and Hunter Renfroe back in the lineup for the Padres. Here last night in the loss, he made some history.
A record that stood for a long, long time will enter Hunter Renfroe into the record books. 25 home runs, breaking the record of 24 from Nate Colbert. He went down and got that one. We saw it Qualcomm on at Petco Park. He could pull the ball. He's got opposite field power. The one he hit last night was unbelievable. It was like off a tee straight away to center field. He missed 28 games, so here's the deal. The strikeouts are going to be there. If you hit 35 to 40 each and every year, I'll take the 150, 160 strikeouts. Also, RBI situations, he's got to come through in that situation if he wants to be the big hitter at the big league level for Hunter Renfroe.
Tonight, Clinton Richard is on the mound. He's looking to get to 200 innings pitched tonight. He's got a shot.
I think this tells a lot about Clayton Richard. It also dovetails onto the other kids in the roster as far as youngsters that, hey, this could be a goal for all of us. 200 innings, 7 2/3. Sure, he can do that. He's got some complete games. He throws a lot of ground balls. I'd like to see maybe better defense so we can get quicker outs. But one thing for sure, Clayton Richard, you know what you're going to get. Leader in ground balls. Double play is always a factor. Fields his position well. Hopefully he can get to the Dodgers early. Quiet, quick outs tonight. And give the Padres a chance to win the ball game tonight. Now, on the other side of the ledger, Rich Hill, you're going to get a lot of curveballs. You're going to get a lot of fastballs. That's pretty much it. But the last 4, why has he been so successful? He elevates the fastball. He'll go down in the zone, and he'll throw that curveball each and every time. It doesn't matter what the count is. So the last time against the Padres, 2-0, 1.5 ERA. He's throwing really well, and they need Rich Hill. Talk about Kershaw, other starters in the rotation in the playoffs. They got him lined up. Rich Hill is probably game 3 in the playoffs for the Dodgers, but he's throwing the ball really, really well.
Now the Padres will have a tall task tonight against tall Rich Hill. The Padres have got some very good veterans, some valuable veterans. Bob Scanlon checked in with the manager, Andy Green, about the veterans and how they've worked so well with the youngsters. We'll come back and hear that next from Dodger Stadium on Fox Sports San Diego.
Who is going to lead these guys?
Dribbling down the third baseline. Spangenberg is going to go to first for the out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chassin. It's a walk-off for Hector Sanchez.
And Geyer strokes that one, but Ibar goes up and makes the catch.
Love the attitude that he brings to this clubhouse. We hear so much about the importance of having veterans on your ball club, but it can become cliche. The important thing is to have the right veterans on your ball club, and the Padres have certainly had that this year with Clayton Richard leading the pitching staff, Hector Sanchez helping out the catchers, and Eric Ibar working with the middle infielders. How important has it been to have a 14-year veteran to help out that middle infielder? Here's what Carlos Asuaje had to say.
He brings a lot of experience, a lot of talent to the clubhouse, and I learned a lot from him as far as the way to conduct yourself on the field, and he's a great asset for our team, and I really enjoy him.
We got good guys in there. Eric Ibar's been great all year. Great teammate, great leader, great person. I think he's played respectably well when he's had the opportunity. So for us, it's been a good mix in the clubhouse, and these guys have enjoyed kind of having those older guys around. They've been good people for them.
And the best part is the energy that all those veterans bring to the clubhouse and the fact that they really enjoy working with these young players. Well, it's all about Christian Villanueva. He's going to try to do it again tonight. Keep crushing it, kid. He'll try to do it tonight against Rich Hill. Clayton Richard going for the Padres. Padres, Dodgers, final game coming up next right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Brought to you by Sycuan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. By Petco, where the pets go. And by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru, symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. Welcome you back to Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Time now for the weather report brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 72 degrees as we get it started tonight. Southwest breeze at 3 miles per hour, and the forecast mostly clear for the remainder of the evening. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon with you for the third and final game of this series. Andy Green brings in a lineup that looks like this. Brought to you by Toyota. Leading it off and in center, Manuel Margot with Carlos Asuaje at second base. Will Myers at first. Hunter Renfroe in right with Christian Villanueva at third. Yangervis Solarte at shortstop. Strike one into Margot. Lash in left. Hedges does the catching. And Richard, the pitcher for the Padres, while Rich Hill is on the mound tonight for LA. Rich Hill coming in at 11-8, 3.50 earned run average.
Well, a 37-year-old making his 25th start. I would say he's reliable. The numbers prove that. Talk about his strengths and weaknesses. The effective fastball. Now 180. He's the guy who pitches up in the zone as opposed to Clayton Richard, who pitches down in the zone tonight. And they'll throw the curveball slider after first pitch fastball strike. So let's see if there's a pattern tonight, and let's see if the Padre hitters go after that pattern and get to Rich Hill early.
1-2 to Margot. Rides up and away. Final tune-up for Rich Hill before the postseason. Likely the number 3 starter in their rotation for the Dodgers in the postseason. Margot at 269, 13 homers, 39 runs batted in, and he lines this one foul outside of third. Rich Hill looking for his 12th win of the year. Tall and lanky, and he'll flip it up there like a frisbee, especially against left-handed hitters. Could be very tough. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Margot, goes to the fastball and gets him at 92, 1 down.
Second baseman.
Rich Hill's one of those pitchers to where when you're thinking maybe breaking ball, he'll slip the little piece of cheese by outer half at 92. And Don, as you mentioned just a bit ago, yes, against lefties, he'll change that arm angle where he'll go Laredo on that breaking ball. Very tough to pick up.
1 down brings up Carlos Asuaje. Hitting the start at second base, batting second. And taking strike 1. Four homers, 21 runs batted in to go along with that 271 average. Fly ball, shallow center. Taylor coming in, and he'll get there to make the catch. 2 down. Check out the Dodgers defensively in this one tonight. Kike Hernandez getting the start in left field. Chris Taylor's out in center, and Yasiel Puig in right. Justin Turner at third base. .976 fielding percentage. That's good for 4th among National League third basemen. Corey Seager at short. Logan Forsythe at second. Cody Bellinger at first. And it's Austin Barnes doing the catching. And news on Adrian Gonzalez, who played first base last night for the Dodgers. The former Padre hit a home run opposite field last night. Ended up injuring himself. That back, it's been a problem all year long. It's back again, and apparently lost for the year and not going to be part of the postseason roster, it appears, for LA.
That is a shame because we know what Adrian can do when he is healthy, but now it eliminates one of the questions that Dave Roberts and the staff are going to have to answer. We talked about last night, the depth of this roster. I mean, there's going to be some tough decisions.
It appeared Adrian was going to be a guy coming off the bench to pinch hit in some key spots. Great to have an Adrian Gonzalez come up and pinch hit, but appears that is not going to be the case. Home run last night was his 3rd of the year. Climbing the ladder on Myers is Hill. He strikes out as a 1-2-3 first. Dodgers are coming up. Out the Dodgers lineup brought to you by Hyundai. And Chris Taylor's going to lead it off. He'll be in center field with Corey Seager at shortstop. Justin Turner at third base with Cody Bellinger at first base in the cleanup spot. Kike Hernandez in left. Logan Forsythe at second. Austin Barnes, who played at second base in each of the first 2 games of the series, does the catching with Yasiel Puig batting 8th in right. And Rich Hill, the pitcher, out of the 9th spot. On the mound tonight for the Padres is Clayton Richard.
34-year-old ground ball specialist. Well, we've seen him working this year quickly, getting quick outs. The double play has been a big thing as well. Gets hitters to chase the slider, 34%, and ineffective changeup at times, hitting a 405 the opponents. But we know that when Clayton is working down, 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 he is keeping his infielders very, very busy.
Now Richard in his 32nd start of the year. 4.63 earned run average coming in, looking for his 9th win. And he'll deal with Chris Taylor, center fielder, leading it off. It's in there for strike 1. 287 average for Taylor coming in. 21 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Saw Cody Bellinger playing center field last night, and what a throw he made to throw out Will Myers at the plate.
I'll be quite honest with you, Don. I did not get a scouting report on what kind of arm Cody Bellinger has.
Oh, it's good.
I'll tell you, those scouts got those pens out very, very quickly.
Yes.
And made a note of that.
On the ground to short, picked by Solarte. High throw and safe at first base is Taylor, but he may have hurt himself. Hobbles his way down. He went awkwardly into the bag at first. Dave Roberts and trainer are headed out there to check on Taylor. That's not good. And that's the one thing you worry about here in the last few regular season games is some sort of injury that will impact your postseason roster.
Just worked underneath it and hit with the left foot. Watch his left foot right there. Yep, it's almost Bryce Harper like.
Taylor in some pain here, and we'll see if he's going to stay in this game.
I'll tell you what, that's very jarring. I mean, we all know what happened to Bryce Harper. Much worse. He was on the deck. He was down for a long, long time. Watch his left foot slips, and then all of a sudden an abrupt stop. Then he's favoring it.
It's like he hyperextended it, didn't really roll it. See if he can run on it here as he will test it out.
Well, that's a great sign for Chris Taylor and the Dodgers.
So it looks like he's going to stay in the game for now. Error charge to Solarte on the throw.
Yeah, that's a shame because Clayton Richard got his ground ball and Jan Hervis just airmails that one. Well, let's see if Clayton Richard can throw a pitch or two to get to make up for that.
Now batting, shortstop number 5, Corey Seager.
Brings up Corey Seager. Padres going to the shift on the right side of the infield, keep it tight to the infield with the double play possibility. Seager's been hovering around 300 all year, hitting at 295. 21 home runs and 75 runs batted in.
Well, the one thing Clayton Richard does well also is cut down the running game. 8 pickoffs. That leads all of baseball for Clayton Richard.
Falling behind here, 2-0. Richard talking here to his middle infielders, figure out who's going to be where. He's got the shift on right now. He gets Solarte at short. Villanueva kind of in the second base spot around the bag at second, as he falls behind 3-0. Charge to Solarte starts the inning. Taylor at first. And a swing and a miss. Green light for Seager. Healthy hack right there. Throw to first, and back is Taylor. Held on by Will Myers at first base. Nobody out here in the last of the first inning. Dodgers get the lead runner on the miscue. Big swing and a miss, and a full count as Clayton Richard battles back here.
He's going to have to protect here. So one of those pitches that's very, very close, ball strike. You hit a weak ground ball, chance to turn two. Seager has grounded into 13 double plays this year.
That'll run outside for ball 4, and the first two have reached for LA here in the first inning. Let's check out the Padres defensively tonight, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Left to right in the outfield, Jabari Blash, Manuel Margot, and Hunter Renfroe. Third to first, Christian Villanueva, Yangervis Solarte, Carlos Suaje, and Will Myers, with Austin Hedges doing the catching. And Solarte, who's been very good at shortstop this year, committing an error in this first inning so far, and it looks like Taylor is coming out of this game. So they may have tightened up on him over there after he had injured his foot, ankle, or leg. Tough to tell which. And he's going to be pinch run for by Curtis Granderson. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's Justin Turner. He'll take strike 1 as Richard jumps ahead. Turner with 21 home runs on the year. Sits safely in 22 of the last 24 games. Drives this out towards deep right center field. At the wall. It's going to be off the wall. Granderson and Seager got hung up, and they'll only get to second and third on a wall ball single by Turner to right center field. And Granderson hung out. He thought Margot may catch that.
First baseman, number 35.
And Seager was right in behind him. Almost lapped him.
You know what I think the key is here on this play, and rightfully so, the runners, they've got to hold up. If that ball is a spectacular catch, they got to go back and tag. Watch the carom. Look who's there. Hunter Renfroe. He is backing him up. He gets the perfect bounce. He gets it in quickly. Hey, he saves a run. The runners had to do what they had to do. If that's a spectacular catch, they're retreating back to the bases that they started from.
Bases loaded, nobody out, and you got Cody Bellinger coming up. Goes from center field last night to first base tonight. Ball 1. Sitting on 39 home runs this year. 95 runs batted in. Has one grand slam to his credit. In his young major league career. Ball 2.
You know, Don, you talk about a guy who's consistent, Bellinger. 270 average against left-handers, 272 against right-handers.
Bases filled with Dodgers, nobody out. That one tap foul. This has been a taxing inning so far for Clayton Richard.
You know what?
With the error at shortstop.
The error is huge because as a pitcher, for me, it was always first strike, first out, first inning. Get it going quickly, get in the dugout. But the throwing error does not help Clayton Richard.
Walk to Seager, wall ball single off the wall in right center for Turner. Now Bellinger lines a foul ball down the first base line. It was fair when it started, got up over Will Myers' head, and then ended up foul slicing down that right field line.
He hangs in there against righties and lefties really, really well.
Single season home runs, players age 21 and younger. Bellinger with 39, Eddie Matthews all time in that category, 47 back in 1953. Mel Ott in 1929 with 42.
We're going way back. New York Giants and the Milwaukee Braves.
2-2 pitch. Bellinger skies one to right center. Margot back to the edge of the track and onto it to make the catch. Granderson will tag. He will score. Tagging at second and moving to third is Seager. And the Dodgers strike first and take a 1-0 lead. Sac fly, Cody Bellinger.
Well, the ball just jumps off this kid's bat. Once again, he doesn't feel for the baseball. He takes a healthy hack. He lets the bat fly. Great extension. Under it just a little bit too much to keep it in the ball yard.
So first and third, one down, a run in. And Kike Hernandez coming up. 213, 11 homers, 35 runs batted in for Hernandez. .37 of his 62 hits this year been for extra base hits. Got himself 24 doubles, 2 triples, and 11 home runs for Kike Hernandez. Spending time both in a starting role and off the bench. He's done both here in this 3-game series for the Dodgers. He's been all over the place versatility wise. Starts defensively in center field, left field, third base, shortstop, right field, second base, and even 2 games at first base.
He's got a lot of different gloves in that locker of his, I'm sure,
Yes,
in that clubhouse.
Foul back, a ball and a strike. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, Richard finished strong. Hey, 1 ground ball here to leave that 1 for the Dodgers here in the first inning to knock Rich off the hill. Not my best work, but I'm going with it.
Downstairs for ball 2. Good block by Hedges. The Turner at first, Seager at third, a run in for LA.
Kike is really tough to double up. For this game, 291 at bats. He's only grounded into 4 double plays. He can get down that line.
Runners in scoring position, 239 average. And Richard could use a double play ball right here. To third, Villanueva with a nice pick will go to second. Nice pick too on the other end by Aswaje. Run scores as they get the runner at second base in Turner. Nice pick by Aswaje. Villanueva threw it into the ground. So 5-4 on the fourth shot there. But in from third is Seager, and it's 2-0 LA.
This is not an easy play. The short hop, boy, Villanueva really makes it look easy. And then Aswaje, you can expect a good throw. But that one's off to the side a little bit. Well, that'll get your attention.
So 2 down now. Runner at first base and Hernandez, and brings up Logan Forsythe. .232 average on the year for Forsythe. And a throw over that has Hernandez crossing over to get back to the bag. Forsythe coming off the bench last night was 0 for 1 when he pinch hit. Meanwhile, Monday night had a big night. In game 1 of the series, came up with the bases loaded in the first inning. A 3-run gapper double. Also had his 6th home run of the year later on in that game. A 4 RBI night. Pitch 22 for Clayton Richard coming up in this first inning. And it's fouled off to the right, out of play. And Welmar go over towards right center. Big gap in left center. That's where the double went for Forsythe in game 1 of the series.
Oh, don't say double here. Because you know what we're going to have to hear, right?
Yes.
I think that should be one of the keys of the game. No Jeopardy double, daily double.
Daily double. One of the new sound effects they have here at Dodger Stadium. It's highly annoying. Unfortunately, the Dodgers have had a lot of doubles. That's strike 3. Frozen is Forsythe. He can't believe it. He's out number 3. Dodgers have a 2-0 lead after 1. As we move to the second inning, and it'll be Hunter Renfroe is going to lead it off. Last night historic for Renfroe as he comes up with home run number 25 of the year, a new single season rookie record for the Padres. Just moved ahead of Nate Colbert by 1. They were tied going into yesterday's action, a record that had hung in there for quite some time. 1969, the 24 home runs for Nate Colbert. Joe Jerko came close, so did Ryan Schimpf.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that that record was broken because it says that you've got a rookie swinging the hot bat. Secondly, he was sent down for 28 games, right? That's telling you something there as well. So if he gets it all right, I'm talking driving the ball to right center field, staying on that slider. Hey, the strikeouts are going to happen, but if you hit 40 home runs, 35 home runs, I'll take those punchies. Look over the course of baseball, Don. The guys who do that, like a Mark Reynolds. Remember that year where Arizona led the league, like over 200 strikeouts or whatever? Still at 40 to 45. That's the give and take.
Renfroe with 57 RBIs to go along with those 25 home runs. Hitting it off here in the second inning. Villanueva and Solarte scheduled to bat after Renfroe. Padres went in order in the first inning. That's strike two. Two strikeouts in the first inning for Rich Hill. Trying to drop it over that outside corner. The breaking ball, but missed.
He'll throw that curveball 39% of the time, as opposed to the fastball 49, almost 50% of the time. But how about this? The fastball, he'll go up the ladder almost 40% of the time to the upper third of the strike zone. And that's where you see a lot of pitches there. After seeing the breaking ball, when you pinpoint 90-91, that is one tough pitch to hit. And if he's got the feel for that yacker and that fastball, good luck.
So one down here in the second, third strikeout for Rich Hill. Christian Villanueva not waiting around, jumps on that first pitch. Four home runs, 7 RBIs in his young major league career. .391 average. A lot of times you'll hear scouts say it's very tough to evaluate players in spring training and in September. But I think you have got to take a look at what Christian Villanueva has done here in September. He's definitely opened some eyes.
Absolutely. And when spring rolls around next year, I'm sure he'll be in camp and be in the line as far as getting a chance to play third base. And as I mentioned in our open, he can play a lot of different positions.
Turner's throw a little bit off the mark, but Bellinger with some good footwork handles the throw. Villanueva's out number 2, and Hill has retired the first 5 Padres he's finished in the game.
Yeah, it's tough in spring training, and Don, you know as well as anybody, because you know you're pitching AA guys, and you have A-ball guys, AA guys who are in camp, and you know they're lighting it up. It's not the best 5 once opening day starts, and they figure it out really quickly.
2 down here in the second, and Hervis Solarte taking a rip. Solarte 1 for 4 with a double in last night's game. Sits safely in 7 of his last 8 games and hitting at .323 in the last 8 games. Pops it up foul off to the right. Down to the count 0-2. Popped up down the right field line, headed towards the seats, out of play. Last home run for Solarte was this past Sunday. Added to his already career high, now 18. Runs away for ball 1. 25th start of the year for Rich Hill. 3.50 ERA, looking for win number 12. Solarte stays alive, fouls it off. We talked about the number of curveballs. Second in that category, only behind Lance McCullers of the Houston Astros.
Yeah, that's in Major League Baseball now.
Former Padre Drew Pomerantz running behind him. In the air to left field. Granderson headed over. He will make the catch. Solarte flies out to left. 6 in a row retired by Hill. 2-0 LA.
Nelson Lamet has pushed himself into the front of the line there. Luis Perdomo's not far behind him there. But those guys are going to come in and they're going to get challenged by another group of guys and possibly another free agent signing or two, and whoever else you bring in from the minor league free agent side. And there's going to be opportunity again in our rotation to lay claim to it if you throw the ball very well. And I think production we've gotten this year from Jhoulys Chassin's been really good. He could potentially be back with us, and you don't know where the rest of the guys will come from, but there's going to be a host of guys that'll be fighting for those jobs.
That's the skipper, Andy Green, talking about his starting rotation going into next season. Now, the Padres used 13 different starters this season, and his last comment was interesting. He says, we don't know exactly where the rest of that starting is going to come next year after Dinelson Lamet, Luis Perdomo, and Clayton Richard, but it's going to come from somewhere. And keep in mind, they didn't know where it was going to come from this year. It came from within. Dinelson Lamet stepping up to be one of the most consistent guys. It's going to be interesting next season, and it'll be fun seeing that competition in spring training, guys.
All right, Scant, thanks very much. Yeah, this year heading in, it was funny, we were talking about it last night. Dinelson Lamet really was not part of that conversation in spring training with all the guys vying for starting spots. He ends up making a great statement this year in the starting rotation. I'd be very surprised if he wasn't there next year.
He's their best pitcher right now, is he not?
No question.
And we talk about the numbers for Jhoulys Chassin, his ERA at home, leading Major League Baseball starters. So whether he's going to be back or not, stay tuned to that one. Clayton Richard bouncing back after the thoracic outlet surgery to free up that shoulder.
Slowly grounded down the third baseline. It'll go foul. Oh. And colliding Villanueva and Richard. I think everybody's all right.
Got a game of Twister going on down there. Right hand yellow, left foot green. Twister's always a family fun game, is it not? And the thing is, just luckily nobody gets hurt on that.
Austin Barnes leading it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Fouls it off to the right, out of play. Now Barnes doing the catching tonight. There's Monty Grandal on the bench to begin the game. Now Yasiel Puig and Rich Hill to follow here in the second inning. Clayton Richard had to throw 24 first inning pitches. Gave up only one hit in the first, but 2 runs. There's a miscue and a walk mixed in. Sac fly on a ground out scored the 2 runs. A bounce in. Hedges plays it on a hop.
Clayton is the exact opposite of Rich Hill. We talked about pitching up in the zone. 39% for Rich Hill, 15% for Clayton Richard up in the zone. He's working down, down, down. 2-seamers and sliders.
Liner down the right field line. This will head to the right field corner. Heading to second base is Barnes. And a double for Barnes to start things in the second inning.
You know, this is really good hitting by Barnes. All upper body, throw the hands, let the barrel follow. This ball is scorched. And it's a daily double for Barnes. Oh, that ball got out there in a hurry.
So Barnes at second base, nobody out. Yasiel Puig coming up. After being benched the first game of the series, we came back last night playing game 2, back in there for the finale. Shooting in at second was Asuaje. No throw from Richard. And his first pitch to Puig is in there for strike 1. 26 home runs on the year, 70 runs batted in for Yasiel. Bluff to second base again. Zwahe cheating in. Again, no throw. Chopper to short, right in front of the runner. Going to first is Solarte. Had to play in front of him, but elected to go to first base. Barnes gets to third, 6-3 on the put out of Puig, one down.
Number 44, Rich Hill.
Well, these games do matter for the Dodgers. They've clinched the division. They've won 100 games, but they're trying to get the best record. They're sitting at 101-57 right now. The Indians at 99-59. Astros with 98 wins. So in a pretty good spot right now heading into the weekend, but it matters.
Yes, and you just can't throw your bench players out there, right, to get some at-bats and keep them sharp. You're playing for that home field advantage, which is huge.
Infield in all the way around, and a pitch in there for strike one. Rich Hill, 4 for 42 at the plate this season. 0.95 average, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Now the Cubs have punched their ticket to the postseason and winning the division tonight. NL Central. Last time the Cubs were in the playoffs 3 years in a row. Oh, it was just 1906 through 1908.
Oh.
Wasn't that long ago. Through the left side, Rich Hill with an RBI single. Barnes will score, and the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead. Just the 5th hit of the year for Rich Hill.
Rich Hill stands so far off the plate, and Clayton wants to throw that one away. It leaks middle in, and hey, as a pitcher, swing hard. If it's a strike, swing in the zone, you just might hit it and get a good result, and certainly a good result for Rich Hill.
So Hill at first, one down, a run in, top of the order. Curtis Granderson, who pinch ran. Chris Taylor now bats for the first time tonight. Granderson took over in left field. Kike Hernandez moved from left to center as part of the change. Not gotten a report yet on Chris Taylor, who appeared to injure his leg. Throw to first, and Hill is just back. He's got his first look at the very good pickoff move of Clayton Richard. He's still getting his lead when that throw was going over.
Oh, you know what? If Will keeps his glove on him, he's out. His foot came off the bag.
That's a strike, and it's 2-1 to Granderson. Since joining the Dodgers, 6 home runs for Granderson. Joined him on August 18th. He's got 25 overall in the year. 20 of his 25 home runs have been on the road this season. First, and Hill, whose lead was about a step, able to get back to the bag without a problem this time. He's not going to chance it anymore. Forget that.
He might take a little league lead. Like hands on the knee. Yeah. 1 foot on the bag.
Hedges gets a foul tip off his thigh, I think. Granderson generally sees a lot of pitches. Leads in that category. Over 4 in at bat, 4.51. Fifth pitch of the at bat coming up here. It's Clayton Richard. One down, a run in, runner at first. Dodgers getting 2 in the first, 1 so far here in the second. Rolls it over, foul for strike 2 here, hanging at 2-2.
Will Myers playing behind Rich Hill right now with Granderson up there. A little bit more range for the big lanky first baseman.
Swing and a miss, and Richard gets his second strikeout, able to get Granderson for out number 2 of the inning.
Well, the arm angle and the pitch get the Grandy man swinging. There's a sweeping slider. Then the Grandy man goes down swinging.
So 2 down, Hill at first, and brings up Corey Seager. Walked and scored in the first inning. Take strike 1. Good Richard trying to find his way here. A lot of pitches. Next pitch will be the 45th in an inning and 2/3 tonight for the left-hander. Richard averaging 3.42 runs of support. That's the lowest in the majors. And tonight so far getting no offensive support to this point. Fouled off, still 1-2. .51 total wins for Clayton Richard in a Padres uniform. 4th most ever by a Friar left-hander. Randy Jones leads all lefties with 92, followed by Bruce Hurst and Dave Dervecki. Swing and a miss, and Seager strikes out. Another run for the Dodgers. We played 2. LA on top 3-0.
Talk about the curveball from Rich Hill. He'll throw it any time. Throws the fastball about 50% of the time, and the curveball was 40% of the time. In, out, back, forth. And when the lefty is up there against Brandon Crawford, the swing and miss going Laredo. But like any pitcher, once he gets that curveball dialed in early. Watch out.
Let's retire the first 6 Padres has faced tonight, 3 by way of the K. And to be dealing with the bottom third of the Padres order, Jabari Blash, Austin Hedges, and Clayton Richard. Jabari getting the start in left field tonight. Justin Turner in to talk to Rich Hill. Clayton Richard has thrown 48 pitches through the first 2. Hill only 25. Fly ball down the right field line to the corner. Puig onto the track to make the catch. Right in front of that short wall in right field. Puig makes the grab. Blash on number 1 of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, it's 330 down that line, each line, and then it jets out. Not like a Fenway Park, right? Fenway is like how far is it down there?
360.
And then it jets out, right?
Yes.
But at the foul pole, pesky pole, it's kind of short,
it's
right?
Yeah, no, it's very short. It's
Yeah.
Some question as whether or not it's actually longer or shorter than what it says.
Right.
Austin Hedges standing in on the right side. Take strike 1. Austin, 18 home runs on the year, 53 runs batted in. Lined into right field. Base hit for Hedges. We go over to play it, and Austin Hedges, first base runner to reach for the Padres on the night.
Pitcher number 3, Clayton
After
Richard.
Hill retired the first 7. Base hit for Austin Hedges to right.
Now, as a right-handed hitter, how do you get to Rich Hill? If you get the breaking ball up, try not to pull it, take it the other way. That's exactly what Austin did. Curveball up, above the belt buckle. Don't try to pull that ball. Take it the other way.
So 1 out, 1 on, and the pitcher Clayton Richard coming up. 123 average for Richard. He does have a home run on his resume this year. Homered in Miami. Showing bunt right away and dropping it down the first baseline. Bellinger thought about second, but he'll go to first, and the sacrifice is complete. Forsythe covers at first. So 3-4 on the force out. On the sacrifice, I should say.
Number 7, Manuel
As Hedges
Margot.
takes second base. Time now for the Arco top tier player profile. Lowest opponent average versus the National League. Rich Hill, just in at 196 against Hill. Only Max Scherzer with a lower opponent average at 183. Robbie Ray of the Diamondbacks, we've seen plenty of. Clayton Kershaw, Steven Strasburg.
That tells me if you're going to get to Rich Hill, you better get to him early. He doesn't throw many mistakes.
Now Hedges in scoring position now, and Manuel Margot takes strike 1. Struck out swinging in the first, one of 3 Ks for Rich Hill on the night. He's down 0-2.
Got him with the slide step and the heater.
Heater only 88.
It looked like 98, didn't it?
Yep.
After that curveball. Now, Don, I ask you, if you're hitting with your power, the hitter you are,
Me?
how are you taking Rich Hill?
The other way.
Are you?
Yeah.
I
As a
agree with you.
right-handed hitter.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because you got popped that way, too.
All over. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Elevated 89 and struck him out. Second time Margot's down by way of the K. It's 3-0 Dodgers. We head to the bottom of the third inning. It's time now for the San Diego fans of the game.
They're having a blast.
Leading off the Dodger half the third inning, number 10.
She's rooting for the Friars. She's excited.
It's been a tough series.
It has been tough. Hey, got to keep plugging though, right?
Padres dropped first 2 games, down here 3-0 in game 3. And Justin Turner to lead it off. Cody Bellinger, Kike Hernandez scheduled to bat, the heart of the Dodgers order. And Clayton Richard about to throw his 49th pitch here, first hitter of the third inning. Justin Turner with a single in the first inning. 322 average now for Turner on the year. It's good for second right now in the National League with Charlie Blackmon at 326. Highest batting average in the majors. You got a Jose Altuve at 348. Avisail Garcia at 330.
Hey, did you hear that little nugget today regarding Altuve? 4 seasons, 200 hits or more, right? Pete Rose didn't even do that. He did 4 out of 5, but not 4 in a row. Consecutive.
That's ball 4. Leadoff walk for Justin Turner. Altuve certainly gets high consideration for MVP this year. Some tough choices. Comes voting time. Aaron Judge had a tremendous first year, rookie of the year for sure. But the question is he also the MVP? Mike Trout and Jose Ramirez.
You know what? I was leaning Altuve until about a week and a half ago, and then Judge appeared as far as MVP. He's going to get rookie of the year, as you mentioned. But you know what? I would see no problem with him. If you take him out of that Yankee lineup, how valuable he's been to that team.
Yep, no doubt. Padres shift here on Bellinger. Keep it close to the infield. The double play possibilities. Bellinger took the strike. There's the alignment with this wide, pretty close. Villanueva also on the right side of the infield. Bellinger with a sac fly, first time up. Picked up RBI number 96 of the year.
Donnie, do you know how hard it is to get 200 hits in a year? Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable.
Pretty tough to do.
Think about it. 200 hits in a 162 game schedule. That is a special talent. And to put it in perspective, like I said, Jose Altuve now 4 seasons in a row. Pete Rose didn't even do that. 4 consecutive seasons.
But you've soured on him on your MVP, so I don't know.
Well, I'm not soured on him. I'm just saying, you know, sure, he's had one heck of a year, and you know, you take him out of the lineup for the Astros, but then you look at both players and you look at the numbers, and of course the home runs. You know, Judge is hitting what, 287,
right?
With that type of pop,
50 home runs, over 100 RBIs
setting
on
the record.
Season.
Who do you like?
I'm leaning towards Altuve still.
Really? Take his defense into consideration too.
I take that into consideration.
Maybe I'll hold my vote. I got till the end of the year, right?
You still have some time. Game 159 tonight for the Padres. 3 left, all in San Francisco, all over the weekend. Swing and a miss, and Bellinger down to one knee on that cut. Strikes out, 4th strikeout for Richard. First out here of the 3rd inning.
Center fielder number 14, Kike Hernandez.
That's a violent swing.
It is. And watch the follow through of the finish. Do you remember that Sports Illustrated cover with Reggie Jackson, super duper star? And this is the shot right there. Reggie Jackson, super duper star. Back when he was with the Yankees, That's the exact same cut right there.
1 on, 1 out. Kike Hernandez coming up. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the first inning. 0 for 1. Ground ball through the left side this time into left field. Turner takes second on the single by Hernandez.
Number 11, Logan
4 hits now
Forsythe.
for LA. Well placed.
Yeah, hit hard and a fast track as well. I mean, that grass is very, very short on the Dodger infield.
Two on, 1 away, and Logan Forsythe coming up. Strikeout victim in the first. He went looking. 4 strikeouts tonight for Clayton Richard. On the ground and into left field, a base hit. Turner being waved around, a bobble by Blash. Run will score, throw to third's late. And the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead. I think Turner scores anyway. See if they charge Blash with an error, allowing the runner to third.
Well, he was definitely charging. They sent the runner and the boot. Let's see if we can see where the runner Turner is at the time of contact. Looked like he already committed, right?
Yeah, I don't think he let up at all.
He was thinking of scoring as soon as that ball was struck.
Kike Hernandez ends up at third base. Forsythe at first. It's a base hit, an RBI, and an E7. First and third, 1 down, and Austin Barnes to left center, and this is trouble. It gets down to Gapper. Hernandez will score. Forsythe's going to try and score all the way from first base. He will. 2 more LA runs, and the Dodgers open it up on top 6-0. 2-run double for Austin Barnes.
Barnes swinging early, and that's a mistake. Outer half. Yeah, he had to go down to get it a little bit. Boy, look at that high leg kick. But as soon as that foot is down, the hands are back. Another sharply hit ball to score 2. And we know that Logan Forsythe can scoot. As you mentioned, Don, scoring all the way from first base.
Now Barnes at second, and Yasiel Puig batting. Is outside, 2-0. Puig thought about it, but takes ball 3 instead. Still only 1 out in the inning. Bellinger struck out. Otherwise, 3 hits, a walk so far, 3 runs, and an error mixed in. Swinging 3-0 with a base hit into center field. Around comes Barnes. 7-0 Dodgers.
44, Rich Hill.
Well, the Dodgers taking some healthy hacks here, hitting the ball sharply, adding on here in the third. Boy, another mistake to Puig, and he takes it right back up the middle. That ball almost knuckled off the bat of Yasiel Puig. Shows you how well he squared that one up.
Here is Rich Hill with Puig at first. Still one out in the inning. Take strike one. Villanueva in at third base. Better be careful. Rich Hill not showing any signs of swinging. Takes a hack 0-2. Now Villanueva can back up.
Tell you what, Rich Hill, you talk about Justin Turner standing right on top of the plate. Rich Hill is nearly on the on-deck circle for the Padres. I mean, he's in back of that box. He is really far away from home plate. Oh, he's peeking. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That ain't right.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out.
He was peeking.
Didn't seem to help.
That's a no-no.
Fielder number 6, Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, that ain't cool. Setting up. The catcher behind him. He's trying to find out location. Oh, that ain't right. That's not cool.
So 2 down. Puig at first base. Padres in a shift on the right side. Oh, 2. Eighth member of the Dodgers to bat here in the third inning. So far, 4 of them have scored. Yasiel Puig at first base, held on over there by Myers. Anderson second at bat. Full count. Action for the Padres for the first time. Ball 4. Granderson down to first base. Third walk allowed by Clayton Richard.
Your breakout MLB season is on Nintendo Switch. RBI Baseball 2017 is filled with fast-paced, pick-up-and-play MLB action-packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for a Nintendo Switch. Learn more today at rbigame.com.
Phil Maton up in the pen for the Padres. Puig gets second. Granderson at first, and a swing and a miss for strike one for Corey Seager. Bats for the third time in this game as he bats here in the third inning. A walk and a strikeout to this point. Ninth member of the Dodgers to bat here in the third. Grounder foul. 2 in the first for LA, a run in the second, and so far 4 here in the third. On the ground right side, Myers will play it himself. He'll take it to the bag and end the inning. 9-men bat for score. LA enjoys a 7-0 lead after 3.
He repeats what he did this last offseason. He's going to be in good shape. He's going to work out hard physically. Personally, I've always told him I'd like to see him a little bit bigger, but for him, he feels like he's really strong at the weight he's at. He is a strong guy. He's capable of doing a lot in the weight room. So I think overall, he can go back, work on speed, agility, that kind of stuff a little bit, but he's on the right path, and he's a worker, so I don't worry about him at all.
Andy Green talking about Carlos Asuaje, what a great job he did this season, and he was absolutely effusive about his work ethic. He said, what did he do last season? He took thousands of ground balls, turned thousands of double plays, and all of that hard work certainly made a difference as he was start off the season in AAA, but has made an impact here in the big leagues, guys. He'll get it done again this offseason. Look forward to seeing what he's got next spring. Back up to you.
All right, Bob, thanks very much. He bats here for the second time tonight, flied out to center in the first.
Well, Carlos Asuaje is listed at 5'9", 158 in the media guide. Jose Altuve is listed at 5'6", 165. As we take a look at this curveball that gets away, get the bat down, get the bat down. Went for the inside corner and missed.
By a lot. Popped up, shallow center, late break Hernandez, but it's not going to matter. He gets there. Out number 1 of the 4th inning. Rich Hill has been economical. 35 pitches, has 1 out here in the 4th inning. And Will Myers coming up. Get you a game break from St. Louis, where the Cubs are tonight. Myers struck out swinging in the first inning, 0 for 1. 4 strikeouts so far tonight for Rich Hill through 3 1/3 innings. Hill started the game by retiring the first 7 Padres he faced. Only hit he's allowed. Austin Hedges single last inning. Now Myers pops it up back at second base. The second baseman Forsythe will make the catch. 2 down.
Number 10, Hunter Renfroe.
Brings up Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe struck out looking first time up. One of 4 strikeouts for Rich Hill so far in the night. Breaking ball missing inside. Kind of surrounded the plate, not a strike. Bounce it foul and evens up at 2-2.
He'll change speeds on that curveball. We just saw. Did you see his arm kind of slope a little bit too?
I didn't notice.
But Hunter way out in front of it.
You could tip your pitches to me and I wouldn't know.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You could tell if the guy slows up his delivery or his arm.
Swinging a foul tip for strike 3. Renfroe strikes out for the second time tonight. 7-0 Dodgers. Much 7-0 Dodgers have the lead here over the Padres. Pitch 80 coming up for Clayton Richard. And it'll be to Justin Turner, led off the 3rd inning with a walk. 9 men batted, 4 of them scored in the inning for LA. Turner's been on twice, single and a walk. Big gap out in left center field for Turner.
Yeah, the bottom line, Don, is just getting into the dance, right?
Absolutely.
Your team can catch fire. Your rotation can do wonders. And you know what? The team with the better rotation, the three guys, top guys, can just lay an egg.
I like the Nationals' chances really
I do
good.
too. And I know you picked Cleveland. I got the Nationals. That'd be a nice World Series.
Well, striking out here is Turner. That's strikeout number 6 of the night for Clayton Richard.
Bellinger.
We got two very good offensive teams lately. Since September the 12th down the stretch when they needed it the most, they got it. And the Cubs went 12-3 down the stretch, while the Twins 9-6. I think at 281 and 289.
And we've talked about it before, but the Twins subtracting and playing better baseball. Unbelievable.
Cody Bellinger has hit a sacrifice fly into center and struck out swinging. That sac fly produced his 96th RBI of the season. That ferocious swing makes it 1-1.
Clayton Richard with that crossfire action. He goes from the first base side of the pitcher's plate, and then that low 3/4. I mean, he's coming at that front hip pocket of Bellinger, the old crossfire. Stevie Ray Vaughan caught in a crossfire.
Two. And a swing and a miss. Bellinger strikes out again. Second time that Richard's got him 7 strikeouts. Clayton Richard on the night. 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Oh, the changeup. Down and in.
Two down in the inning. Kike Hernandez will take strike 1. Two-one. Foul back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Now Richard strikes out Turner, strikes out Bellinger. Now dealing with Kike Hernandez. Fouls it back. Do it again. 2-2.
You like the feel of a baseball in your hand?
I do.
It's kind of neat,
That's
isn't
why
it?
I usually have one in my hand.
You
Always ready
stole
for a
mine.
game. Yes, I did. Matter of fact, I did. Popped up, left side of the infield. Solarte equidistant between second and third will make the catch. That ends the inning. First 1-2-3 inning of the night for Clayton Richard. 7-0 Dodgers.
preview on Fox as the Red Sox take on the Houston Astros, or the Yankees host the Blue Jays. That's Saturday on Fox. A doubleheader coming your way. Get your baseball fix right here on Fox. And Don Orsillo, aren't you doing the Blue Jays Yankees?
Blue Jays Yankees, Yankee Stadium.
Well, we wish you luck.
Thank you.
And this is your last telecast for the 2017 year for
This is it.
Fox Sports San Diego, correct?
This is true. I will miss you, Mudley.
Donnie?
It's been a slice of heaven.
It's been a slice of heaven. Many slices, as you can see.
Who are you talking about there, Slim?
But no, it's been a great 2017. Thank you.
Been a lot of fun. Thanks, brother. See you very soon, I'm sure.
Yep. I'll come visit the Gnome.
We don't know where the Gnome's going to be yet. Still got a lot of baseball left. And my guy, Solarte, batting second in this inning as Villanueva leads it off. Grounded down to third base in the second inning, 0 for 1. Want to go fishing with me and the Gnome?
Sure.
A lot of fishing, some cooking.
Is there enough room in that paddle boat?
Absolutely.
Be tilted a little bit one way.
Put like a cinder block or something on my side
to even it out.
Fouled off down by the shoe tops. Villanueva grounded out to third base in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Kind of surrounded the plate, but not a strike.
Back to the low sidearm delivery from Rich Hill. 2 in a row to the righty. Villanueva, but usually he'll do that to lefties.
There was a time before his last surgery where he pitched like that.
Yes.
All the time.
Yep.
Did he go? Going to be rung up anyway. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts now for Hill.
26, Yangervis Solarte.
Brings up Yangervis Solarte. Flied out to left field in the second inning.
Remember how we mentioned earlier how he goes up the ladder. It's tough to lay off. He most definitely goes for the strikeout.
Solarte flied out to left field in the second inning. 0 for 1 in the game. Padres have 1 hit. Austin Hedges with a single to right field in the third inning. Fouled off to the right, and it's 1-2. Six strikeouts for Hill. He's not walked anybody through 4 1/3 innings. And that's strike 3 as Solarte strikes out. Back-to-back Ks. In fact, 3 in a row for Hill. 7 strikeouts on the night.
Number 32, Jabari Blash.
Villanueva goes down with a high fastball. And this one is right down the middle. I'm guessing Yangervis is guessing breaking ball.
Two down here in the 5th inning. Jabari Blash flat out to the warning track in right field in the 3rd inning. Ball 3, 3-1. Ball 4 and Blash down to first base. He thought that might have been a strike too. Down to first he goes. That breaks up a string of 7 in a row retired by Hill. First walk that he's allowed.
And the first 3-ball count of the evening as well, Don.
Gives Austin Hedges another chance. Hedges with a base hit in the 3rd inning. Only hit tonight for San Diego. As Rich Hill gets ready to throw his 60th pitch of the night. And it's strike 1.
You know, we were talking about pitchers with 2 pitches, like Dinelson Lamet is going to learn to change up.
Yep.
Rich Hill is basically 2 pitches.
Pretty much.
If you can command the fastball, and granted, at this point in time, Rich Hill, 37 years old, been around the league for many, many years. He can dissect the play with his fastball with the best of them, right? Very few walks. Dinelson Lamet still has to get to that point where he can throw 8 out of 10 times, dot, 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 up and in, up and away, down and in, down and away.
And Lamet's got a lot more velocity than Rich Hill does.
True. But if you miss to the heart of the plate with that, these big league hitters can turn it around.
With Clayton Richards' spot coming up in the order next. Eric Ibar has come out on deck. 94 pitches on the night for Clayton. Oh, 2. Not close. Flash with the lead at first, 2 down in the inning. Popped up foul, out of play off to the right.
See how Hill is also varying his leg kicks? That was kind of a half in between quick leg kick. He's used a slide step before, and the one prior to that, last pitch, he kind of hung up there a little bit over the rubber and then went to the plate.
Hanging tough here is Austin Hedges. Swing and a miss, and Hedges strikes out. 8 strikeouts for Rich Hill halfway through 7-0 LA. Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. And by Father Joe's Villages. Call 1-800-HOMELESS or visit neighbor.org to make a tax-deductible donation of cash, cars, or furniture. Now it's a 7-0 Dodgers lead. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. And Clayton Richard's spot in the order did not come up, so he is back out on the mound here for the Padres. Logan Forsythe, Austin Barnes, and Yasiel Puig scheduled to bat here with LA on top 7-0. 94 pitches for Richard.
Clayton's going to eat up another inning, right? Save the bullpen. We know that he's the guy that'd be the first one to say, hey, I want to take another inning. His spot was coming up. But when you look at Clayton Richard, and this is what we touched upon before when he was signed to his extension, what A.J. Preller, what Andy Green said about it. How he goes about his business. I mean, right now, he's been kicked in the gut. He's down 7-0. He could very easily fold up tent, pick up stakes, and head out, right? But no, that's not the way Clayton Richard works.
Popped up foul down the right field line, out of play.
He's going to go after these Dodgers as if it's 0-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. I think that goes a long way. And when you play competitive sports, that's the attitude you have to have. Regardless, first place, last place.
In the air to center, and Welmar Go settles underneath. Makes the catch for out number 1. Logan Forsythe is retired.
And you know what? Quite frankly, if you think the other way,
Austin Barnes.
I don't want you on my team.
He's coming up on a hundo. Austin Barnes coming up here. He's doubled twice, driven in 2 runs, scored 2 runs. I've seen him at second base, seen him catch. Certainly had some, adding some versatility to Dave Roberts' roster here as Barnes hops back out of the way.
What do you think of the built-in stirrups for Austin Barnes? There's stirrups built into one sock.
Not crazy about it.
I'm not either.
On the ground to second base, Swahe to his right for out number 2. But I do like the stirrup look, just not like that.
Yeah. That's just one sock. The stirrup is woven into the sock with the LA logo on the left.
So it's a fake look.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
2 down, 6 in a row now, retired by Richard. And it brings up Yasiel Puig. Grounded out short in the second, single to center to drive in a run in the 3rd. Most pitches thrown in a game this year. 123. Clayton Richard. And that was against the Mets. An 8-inning effort, which gave up 5 runs. Driven to left field. Blast going back, looking up, and that is gone. Yasiel Puig gets his 27th home run of the year. The Dodgers take an 8-0 lead.
Well, the Dodgers have capitalized on a lot of mistakes. Then over the heart of the plate, there's a 1-1 fastball. Right down the middle.
On the ground off the bat of Hill to Aswahe. And that'll end the inning, but a home run for Yasiel Puig adds to the Dodgers lead on top 8-0.
Hill, he has been extremely effective tonight. He has that big slow breaking ball, but this is the other weapon that he's been using so effectively tonight, the elevated fastball. Upstairs, gets Will Myers chasing after it. Now he dots the outside corner on Hunter Renfroe, but then he goes right back upstairs again to Manny Margot. When you see that fastball up in the zone, it is so tempting. You feel like you can get to it. It's close to the batter's eye. It's the easiest pitch in baseball to see. Hitters think that they can catch up to it, and the next thing you know, it's going past you. And as you know, guys, what makes it so effective as well is he's complementing it with that big slow breaking ball. Very tough Rich Hill tonight.
All right, thanks very much, Scan. Rich Hill, 5 shutout innings to this point on 66 pitches. And a pinch hitter he will face to begin things here in the 6th inning is going to be Alan Cordoba making his way to the plate here. One hit allowed by Rich Hill, the single by Austin Hedges. In the 3rd, he has punched out 8, walking only 1. Cordoba into his 98th game of the year. Great many of those. Most of those coming in the first half of the year. Not a lot of playing time from the All-Star break on for Cordoba.
Talked to Alan about a week ago in Colorado, and he said he plans on playing some winter ball to get some ABs. That's shortstop. But what a learning experience, huh? At the big league level for the whole year.
Now you go work on getting back.
It just goes to show you how good these pitchers are at this level. 1 through 5, and then hey, if you get to the starter, now you're facing guys that have explosive stuff at plus 95, nasty breaking balls. The type of pitchers you don't see in A and AA baseball.
This explosive Dodgers lineup getting to Clayton Richard tonight. Next pitch for Hill will be the 70th of his outing. And he strikes out Cordoba. It's 9 strikeouts now for Rich Hill.
And once again on the elevated fastball from Rich Hill.
Center fielder Manuel Margot.
Now when that ball crosses the plate, that's above the belt buckle. That's up in the zone.
So 1 down. Manuel Margot 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Not waiting around this time. Pops it up down the first baseline. Cody Bellinger into foul ground, makes the catch. 2 down. Two outs here. That'll bring up Carlos Suarez. Chris Taylor left tonight's game with a left knee contusion. He played at first base, so a left knee contusion left the game. Curtis Granderson took over for him. Pitch to a Suarez is in there for strike 1. Earlier we saw Phil Maton up. It's now Kirby Yates up in the pen. Suarez flied out twice to the center fielder Kike Hernandez. It's 75 coming up for Rich Hill. Coming in at 11-8, 3.50 earned run average. And a walk here for Suarez. Second walk given up by Rich Hill in the ninth.
The Red Cross depends on financial donations to be able to provide disaster relief immediately. Help people affected by Hurricanes Harvey and Irma by visiting redcross.org or texting the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation.
2 outs. Padres have a base runner at first, and Will Myers getting his third look at Rich Hill. Myers struck out swinging in the first, popped out to second base in the fourth. And take strike 1. Rich Hill coming in this season against the Padres 2-0. Looking for his third win. Fly ball right field. Yasiel Puig almost in his tracks out there. Back a step, makes the catch, it ends the inning. 6 innings for Rich Hill. Dodgers have an 8-0 lead. bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Padres. Pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. And Kirby Yates is that new pitcher into his 62nd game of the year.
And it's been a while since Kirby's been out on the hill. Last Saturday against the Rockies. Pitched an inning, struck out 2 Colorado Rockies. Scoreless in 5 games, over 4 1/3 innings pitched against the Dodgers, limiting hitters to a 133 average.
Other defensive changes. Cordoba stays in the game at short, and Solarte moves to first base. So Will Myers has the rest of the night off. Curtis Granderson, batting for the 3rd time, has struck out and walked. Down 0-2. Played Richard tonight, first 5 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, walked 2, struck out 7 through 107 pitches.
You know, I hate to play the game what if.
What if there was no error to begin the game?
First ground ball to Solarte.
Yeah, you gotta wonder.
You can only, right?
Fly ball right center, struck well. Going back, looking up, it's gone. Curtis Granderson's gone deep, and the Dodgers are taking a 9-0 lead. The 26th time that Granderson has homered this year.
Change up. Speeds up the bat of Granderson. He catches it out in front. Tell you what, the ball's been traveling too. He's out in front. Good, short, quick stroke from Granderson.
Second home run of the night for the Dodgers. Yasiel Puig had the other home run. Solo shot in the 5th.
Dodgers going into this game, the National League ranked 3rd in that category, in the home run category, 3rd at most. You know what's weird about the Dodgers, though, Don? They rank 13th in hits as a club.
Surprised by that.
It is surprising.
We have had quite a series here against the Padres.
And as a club, collectively, they're 12th in average. Remember the club that won the 1988 World Series for the Dodgers? They hit like 250 as a team. That was all pitching for that Oral Hershiser and company team. This Dodger team is hitting 249.
1-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. That struck well. Margot going back. At the wall, it's gone. Dodgers go back to back and making it even 10. It's 10-0 LA.
Third baseman number 10, Justin Turner.
Corey Seager's not going to miss many mistakes like that. Granderson stayed back on a changeup, just out of the reach of Margot. Yasiel Puig admiring that one as well.
Turner to left. Flash back at the wall to make the catch. One down here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
First baseman number 35, Cody Bellinger.
That's Cody Bellinger. sac fly back in the first inning. Since then, has struck out twice. That was against Clayton Richard, 2 of the 7 Ks that Clayton had. Dodgers have gone back-to-back here in the 6th inning. Granderson and Seager. With 1 out, Bellinger will take a pitch inside. Lead runs allowed by Richard, so far 2 by Kirby Yates. Strike called. Bellinger wasn't crazy about it. Padres shifting on Bellinger as they normally do. Chases after that, and Yates strikes him out. That's out number 2. 3rd time Bellinger down by way of the K tonight.
And we know that he is susceptible to the changeup, and Kirby Yates flips up a changeup there, the old split finger style, and brings him to an E for the strikeout.
Jock Peterson pinch hitting here for Kike Hernandez. So another night where Dave Roberts has the chance to unload his bench here as the game goes along. Able to rest some of his starters. Jock Peterson spending some time at AAA this year. Kind of a wake-up call for him. A very crowded outfield for LA.
Crowded outfield would be a good name for a band. It's a combination of like crowded house and the outfield.
Crowded outfield.
You'd have to have 4 members, right?
Fly ball, left field corner, Blash circles but makes the grab that ends the inning. Back-to-back home runs for Granderson and Seager. It's 10-0 LA. Summary, and it really started off in the third inning where the Dodgers did the bulk of their damage. Logan Forsythe would drive in Justin Turner. Part of a 4-run inning, and Austin Barnes has had a very good series. Drives this to the gap at left center field. He would play 2 more. 7 runs in the first 3 innings. Then the home run started. Yasiel Puig hit his home run in the 5th inning, his 27th of the year. Then the Dodgers would go back-to-back in the 6th inning. Curtis Granderson, his 26th home run of the season. And Corey Seager, home run number 22 of the year. This is to center field. 3 home runs for LA, 10 runs altogether. Dodgers have a 10-0 advantage to the 7th inning. Rich Hill back on the mound with a whole new cast of characters behind him. And swinging to the first pitch is Renfroe, and lifting it to center field for out number 1. That is Jock Peterson out there at center.
Third baseman number 22, Christian Villanueva.
So Renfroe 0 for 3 in the game with a couple of strikeouts, and brings up Christian Villanueva.
Well, you figure that Rich Hill, he's got the 10-0 lead. Last 3 times out, 96 pitches, 74, 88, maybe a 90-pitch workout. This could be his last inning, I would think. Before getting tuned up for the playoffs. Speculation that he will be number 3 in the rotation.
Grounder left side to short. Culberson just in the game. One hopper that Seguin can't dig out. So Villanueva will reach.
First baseman number 26, Yankees Solarte.
Oh, he rushed it. He had plenty of time too. Villanueva does not have blazing speed, and that hop, that's not that real short quick one that's easy to pick. The one that's like maybe out 6 to 8 feet in front of you.
So the shortstop Culberson charged with the error. 1 out, 1 on. Yankees Solarte. Solarte has flat out to left and struck out looking. Down 0-2. Harris has had the misfortune of grounding into 17 double plays this year. That's with 1 out and 1 on. Fouls it back, stays alive. Padres being out hit in the game 10-1. Only hit off Rich Hill, the single by Hedges back in the 3rd inning. On the ground and through into left field, a base hit for Solarte. And up to second base goes Villanueva. Second Padres hit of the night.
Field number 32, Jabari Blash.
Can't give away at bats. Still got to put a good swing on one. Boy, he goes up to one of those Rich Hill high fastballs. You know, usually it's a pop up, but he gets on top of it through the 5.5 hole.
So 2 on, 1 away, and Jabari Blash coming up. Curveball in there for strike 1. Cash has flat out to the warning track in right and walked tonight, getting his third plate appearance. The right field line and headed foul into the seats. '90th pitch of the night coming up for Hill. There is action in the Dodgers pen. McCarthy and Cingrani both warming. To right field. Trace Thompson's out there now, and right, he'll make the catch. No advance for the base runners. 2 down.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
So 2 on, 2 down. Austin Hedges 1 for 2. Single to right in the third. Hedges may have gone. They'll check, and he did. Stu Sherwater, first base umpire.
Oh, yeah.
Strike 3 call. Hedges knew it. Takes with him the 10th strikeout for Rich Hill. Padres strand the pair, trail 10-0. We were hanging out here with the Padres alumni, and of course he is a Padres alumni, and we were playing some softball here today against the Marines.
I think the 05 and 06 teams were really special. We had a lot of fun.
It's been exciting baseball. Andy's done a great job of holding everybody accountable. Moving forward, I think there's a lot of good things on the horizon.
Friday on Padres POV, presented by Nissan. We celebrate all of San Diego with a tailgate party at Petco Park. Also, Padres alumni challenge the Marines to a softball game. Plus, we sit down with former Padres alum, I should say, Scott Linebrink. Friday after Padres Live.
7th inning stretch brought to you by Hyundai.
Leading off the Dodger half of the 7th inning.
As we head here to the bottom of the 7th inning. Dodgers enjoying a 10-0 lead. Craig Stammen, third Padres pitcher of the night, takes over for Kirby Yates. Logan Forsythe, first batter that he'll face. Kirby Yates went an inning, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. 59th appearance.
Got to keep the same concentration. Good quality pitches.
Forsythe with an RBI single in the 3rd. 1 for 3 night.
I got my Latin mixed up on that Padre POV read. I said alumni, but that's plural. When it's singular, it's alum or alumnus. Scott Linebrink, he's an alum, not an alumni. There's only one Scott Linebrink, Don. So I messed up my Latin.
Sorry about it.
The dead language. Still taught in some schools, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Two to Forsythe. Bounce in. Austin Barnes waiting on deck here. Dodgers batting in the bottom of the 7th. Clayton Richard went the first 5, giving up 8 runs. Yates in an inning, giving up 2. Payoff pitch. Fly ball. Left center field. Margot makes the catch shy of the track for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Did you take a language in high school?
I took French, not well.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How many years?
At least 2.
So deux?
No, I I forgot most of it.
How do you say years in French?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Really bad. I mean, I didn't.
That is bad. If you don't know the numbers,
retaining stuff. And
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You can't even count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, nerf, something like that.
Nerf?
Yeah.
Did I hear nerf there?
Nerf's like 9 or something. Not good. Not good. I had to get a tutor. That didn't go well. Obviously.
I took Spanish and loved it. Had a great teacher.
I wish I had.
I call him like once a year just to say hey, say thank you.
To this day.
Mr. Phil Keating.
Nice.
Yep. Best teacher I ever had.
This is back up the middle and by the dive of Cordova into center field. It's a 1-out single for Austin Barnes, his 3rd hit of the game. Time now for the Bill Howe plays of the game. It's the Dodgers home runs. Starts with Yasiel Puig in the 5th inning. And Puig would get his 27th home run of the year. And the Dodgers would go back-to-back in the 6th for Granderson and then Seager. Granderson is 26, Seager his 22nd. 3 home runs, part of this 10-run, 11-hit attack for LA. One out, one on, and here is Charlie Culberson. took over at shortstop. That's now in the 8th spot for LA. Sprayed foul off to the right, 1-1. On the ground towards second, could be two. Aswaya to second for one. On to first, double play. So 4-6 to 3 on the twin killing that ends the 7th. We head to the 8th, 10-0 LA. All right, Mike and Tony, thanks very much. New pitcher for LA here in the 8th inning is Brandon McCarthy.
Has been a starter and a reliever. Very much so a starter, as we know Brandon McCarthy from the years past. First relief appearance of the season Saturday night against the Giants. And one of the few relievers, probably because he's been a starter a lot, going from the windup, full windup. A lot of relievers nowadays will go from the stretch.
Alan Corda beginning his second plate appearance, struck out swinging. That was quite an outing tonight by Rich Hill.
It was. Only one walk, only two walks, check that. 1 or 2 3-ball counts, if that. Well, the 2 walks, you had to have a 3-ball count.
Yeah, he had 2 3-ball counts. They both turned into walks.
Yep.
19 first pitch strikes. 7-0-2 counts.
Going up the ladder with the fastball. We talked about that before the game started. Went to that pitch for a lot of the strikeouts.
His line 7 innings, 2 hits. Single to Hedges, single to Solarte. No runs. He walked 2 and struck out 10. In line for win number 12 of the year. Be his 3rd against the Padres. Make him 3-0 against San Diego. McCarthy walks the first batter he faces in Cordoba to begin the 8th. Well, tomorrow an off day for the Padres, and then a 3-game series. The last 3 games of the regular season begins in San Francisco. Jordan Lyles 1-4 with a 7.23 earned run average going for San Diego against Chris Stratton. Stratton 3-4 with a 4.15 earned run average. Coverage begins at 6:30. Padres and Giants from AT&T Park in San Francisco. Is he related to Eric Stratton, you think? Russ Chairman?
I don't know.
Yeah. 1-0.
Otter.
Foul back to the screen.
Hey, they can't do that to our pledges. Only we can do that to our pledges.
And Wilmar go for 3. To center field. Peterson coming in for out number 1. Hung up long enough for Jock Peterson to get in.
Number 20, Carlos Asuaje.
And bring up Carlos Asuaje. Flied out to center field twice and walked.
Remember, Brandon McCarthy was on the DL a couple times. Dislocated left shoulder, right knee tendonitis. Blister on the finger. I mean, he's had a lot going on this year.
As part of the double switch, pitcher spot is due next, and Travis Jankowski has come out on deck. It's almost time to revisit the keys to the game.
Do we have to?
Swing and a miss. Asuaje strikes out, 2 down. It's time now to revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Richard finished strong his last start of the year. Clayton 5 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, allowed 1 home run, and knocked Rich Hill off the hill. 7 innings. Mr. Blutarski, you have no grade point average. 0.0. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son. Give myself a big old fat F.
2 down here in the 8th. Foul back to the screen, and it's 1-1. Travis Jankowski pinch hitting. We have 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Cordoba started the inning with a walk, but McCarthy's got Mark Go to line out to center. Asuaje to strike out. There is Cordoba. Ball 3-1.
You know, if you're playing defense with Rich Hill on the mound, you got to love playing defense, don't you?
He works quick.
Works quickly, throws strikes. As we mentioned, only 2 3-ball counts that resulted in 2 walks.
Full count now.
There's another guy on the left who throws strikes and works quickly. Defense loves playing behind Clayton Kershaw.
Swing and a miss, and Jankowski strikes out to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 10-0 Dodgers. Padres baseball brought to you by the all-new Subaru Impreza. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. And by Petco, where the pets go. Back in Los Angeles, where it's been all Dodgers tonight. They've got a 10-0 advantage. Brad Hand getting some work tonight for the Padres coming in.
Day off tomorrow. 3-game set. 3-game series, I should say, in San Francisco. So Brad Hand gets an inning of work. His 71st game for the left-hander. And it's been a while since Brad has been out there as well, back on the 23rd against the Colorado Rockies.
Pinch hitter Yasmani Grandal leading it off here for LA. On the ground up the middle, into center field, a base hit. Starts the bottom of the 8th.
Fielder number 6, Curtis Granderson.
Hand taking over for stamina when an inning, giving up a hit, no runs, no walks, didn't strike anybody out. Curtis Granderson with a home run his last time up, 26th of the year. And a 3 hit by the Dodgers in the game. Padres in a shift on the right side, but they keep it in the infield. Anderson takes strike 1. Richard went 5 tonight, giving up 8 runs. Kirby Yates an inning, 2 runs. Craig Stammen a shutout inning, and now Brad Hand working here in the last of the 8th. Two and 1 to Curtis Granderson. He's hitting at just 152 against Ham. Strike 2 to Granderson. And maybe a generous call right there. 2-2.
Off the plate a little bit, but that's the way Brad Hand trying to go after Granderson, peppering away at that outside corner. Indication from the scouting reports and the spray charts, ball's down and away. He will try to hook. That's why you see the 3 infielders on the right side.
Strike 3 call. Granderson knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout for Brad Hand of the night. 1 down here in the 8th.
Third baseman, number 65, Kyle Farmer.
Kyle Farmer coming up, took over at third base. That's for the first time. 353 average this year. No homers, 2 runs batted in. A September called up on September the 9th. His 3rd stint this year at the major league level with the Dodgers. Made his major league debut back on July 30th. Got a pinch hit double in his first at bat in the 11th inning. First career hit. Grounder up the middle. Ranging his Cordoba, flips to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play. We'll end the inning 6-4 to 3 as we head to the 9th. 10-0 Dodgers. Starter for the LA Dodgers tonight, Rich Hill. 7 shutout innings, gave up 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 10. He was terrific tonight and really dominated the Padres all night long.
Now pitching for the Dodgers, number 74.
10 strikeouts, and he finished it off with a strikeout of Austin Hedges.
Looking to finish at 12 and 8. He had all of his pitches working for him, and quite frankly, the perfect tune-up as the Dodgers trying to fight for home field advantage throughout. And Rich Hill trying to tune up for the playoffs. His spot probably number 3 in the rotation for LA.
Well, the closer for the Dodgers in just to get some work. Kenley Jansen into the game.
And the numbers are just mind-boggling. 64th game. He's perfect in his record, 5-0. 40 out of 41, as Don mentioned, not a save. But the strikes to walks. He has struck out 105 batters, only walked 7.
Picked up his 40th save on Friday. Derek Gagne, only pitchers in Dodgers history with 3 seasons of 40 or more saves. There's a strike, 1-1 to Hunter Renfroe, leading it off here in the 9th inning. Renfroe 0 for 3, struck out twice and flied out to center. Fly ball to left field, and Granderson. 1 down in the 9th. Jansen, one of many good closers heading to the postseason.
Number 22, Christian
Holland, we saw a lot of this year, 41 saves for the Rockies. But Fernando Rodney is 1 shy of 40 saves. Corey Knebel, 38, and Wade Davis with 32 on the season. A lot of good closers, and generally the good teams have good closers.
Yeah, can't go wrong with any one of those. And when you look at Kenley Jansen's numbers, though, for a guy that throws that many strikes, he's got the cut fastball about 93 to 95. It's mind-boggling.
Christian Villanueva.
Very tough to pick up. I remember talking to Manuel Margot about a month and a half ago. He said he was the toughest of the closers that he has had to face.
Hides the ball well?
Yes. Plus with the movement of the cutter.
Swing and a miss, makes quick work of Villanueva. 2 down in the 9th inning. So 2 away in the 9th.
26, Yangervis Solarte.
And it'll bring up Yangervis Solarte. He is flying out to left, struck out looking, and single. Fly ball, foul off to the left, out of play. Solarte started the game at short. He's since moved to first base. In the dirt, and it's 2-1. Jansen coming in here in the 9th inning, getting Renfroe. Fly out to left, Villanueva to strike out. 2 down, and trying to close out this shutout tonight in LA. Solarte rips it down the right field line towards the corner, and that'll jump up into the seats for a rule book double. So Yangervis Solarte with his second hit of the night.
We're going into this game, 66 innings, only 42 hits off of Kenley Jansen. So tough to get on base against this closer.
So 2 down. Solarte at second base, and Jabari Blash standing in. Strike 1. Sciascia is flied out, walked in, flied out again. Down 0-1. Ball and a strike here to Blash. A chill for 7 shutout innings. Brandon McCarthy pitched the 8th, and Kenley Jansen just getting some work here in the 9th. Gave up the double to Solarte with 2 down. Blash offered, and it's 1-2. Well, they come to their feet at Dodger Stadium. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Two down, 9th inning. Solarte at second. Struck him out, and the Dodgers shut out the Padres 10-0. They sweep the 3-game series in LA. Again, the final, LA 10, San Diego nothing. It's time now for Padres Live. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?